Today's episode is inspired from my Self-Care Society class titled Joy is My Lifestyle. And if you are listening to this on the day that it's released, it is Halloween here in the United States. And so we wanted to do an episode about joy, about joyfulness, because by nature, the idea of getting dressed up and going out and getting candy and this playfulness that, for so many is reserved for children is so important. And joy is so important. And so many people will tell you if what they really want in life is to be happy, right? And to feel joy. And so we're really going to lean into that today. If you're watching the YouTube video, you can see I've got this really fun, sparkly heart print dress on. So I'm feeling very joyful as I record this. And I hope you are too. So if you want to do anything to be a little bit more joyful, maybe you're in costume, that would be really awesome. And maybe you're listening to this way after the release date, but do not feel like you can't jump into a costume or something fun just in case, or just if you want to. Okay. So anyway, we are going to start with a quote as we always do. And the quote says, "The three factors that seem to have the greatest influence on increasing our happiness are our ability to reframe our situation more positively, our ability to experience gratitude, and our choice to be kind and generous." And this comes from Dalai Lama, The Book of Joy, Lasting Happiness in a Changing World. And we are really going to take this quote to heart in our class today. We're going to do some exercises that are specifically inspired by this quote, and so that we can really take action on these wise suggestions. So how does the dictionary define the word joy? Well, they say the emotion evoked by well-being, success, or good fortune, or by the prospect of possessing what one desires. A state of happiness or felicity, a source or cause of delight. So I don't know about you, but I am here for all of that. A state of felicity. I mean, that feels like it's so beautiful. So joyfulness. We're going to do our pause and practice. So this is your opportunity to close your eyes, to really embody, even if it's the first time today, embody a sense of joy. Like an actor or an actress, try it on. You're playing a role that is incredibly joyful. You're embodying it in every cell of your being. You're really feeling it right now in this moment. Despite what's going on outside you and in your external circumstances, can you feel joy right now? What does it feel like? To me, it's bubbly. It's wiggly, it's movement, it's motion. I can't help but smile. I can't help but pull my shoulders back and stand taller. What do you notice as you bring joy into your body? And I want you to take that with you. You can open your eyes if they were closed. I want you to take that with you into our session today and into your day. And I want you to come back to that sense of joy and that embodiment of joy anytime that you possibly can. We forget that we have so much power over how we feel and who we are and how we show up. And you can bring that joy into so many places. Now, a little bit about joy and my reflection on it and, a story to share. This idea of joy has really evolved for me personally in so many ways. And I feel a lot closer to my authentic joy today than I ever did. And I did a lot of work to really become more honest and more aligned with my inner experience. For so long, I feel like I lived my life based on how I thought I should feel and what I thought should make me happy. And I did a therapy called ISTDP that helped me actually learn to stay in my body instead of escaping it. And it really allowed me to have a better understanding of how in any given situation, I can pay attention to how I actually feel versus what I think I should be feeling, right? And that was a big theme for me. And as a result of this, I learned a lot more about myself. And because I was staying in my body and I was using these feelings, these authentic experiences for what I was witnessing, I could use these to really serve me and to make decisions in my life that were more authentic to me, that truly made me happy. So today, my personal joy feels a lot more simple and so much more authentic than it once did. I find that joy for me is really synonymous with peace and ease and simplicity and space. I find a lot of joy in spending time with my daughter, in simplifying and decluttering, whether that's in my home or my mind or on my calendar. I still find joy in getting things done, in growing food in our garden, in helping others in whatever way I can. I now know what joy feels like, as well as what the opposite experience is. So, with every day I live in my body, I get to choose to feel my feelings. And when I do that, I get wiser about how best to nurture it. And I feel like it's such a gift that we have this inner GPS system, our feelings, to that we get to like grow older and wiser the more we use it every day. Right? Every day we're learning more about ourselves and ultimately how to uncover our joy when we're willing to feel whatever's going on within us. So it feels like such a gift. And I hope you can acknowledge that too. And I hope that you can practice and use whatever resources and support you need to be willing to tap into your inner world and your inner guidance system. So I'm going to give you some tips on finding joy and bringing more joy into your life. One thing you can do is you can make a joy list and then you can schedule it on your calendar as repeating events. So daily, yearly, whatever the increment is, these micro habit joy moments can really fill your days. Okay. So maybe you know that, like for me, I know that getting out and meandering around my garden each morning brings me a lot of joy. It always makes me feel better. And so I have this on my project management technology, Asana. It's a repeating event for every morning. And it's just a reminder for me. It's a moment of joy that helps me get out and bring that into my life in a consistent basis. Okay. So the second tip is to slow down and really pay attention to your body and the way you feel in it. Okay. So this is sort of a reflection on my story. If we're always busy and we're always moving and we're always doing, we're silencing the cues that give us this information that helps us make better choices. Okay. So you can do this through meditating, journaling, putting your screens away, turning off the noise and getting into nature and just listening. Those answers are inside of you. I promise. You just have to listen. You have to create that space to listen. Another thing you can do is think about some joyful moments in your past and really dig more deeply into them. What was it about them that made you feel so joyful? And really pick out these little clues, this data, this information for yourself so you can then create more of it in your life. Another thing you can do is think about what words are synonymous with joy for you. So I had said, for me, that's peace. And there's like a sense of simplicity that represents a lot of joy for me, a sense of ease. And you can make a list and then use those words to actually help you uncover actionable things that you can experience to support yourself in feeling a holistic sense of joy in your life. So for example, for me, if peace is synonymous with joy for me, then I can really uncover specific things that help me find peace, right? So maybe that's taking a day off of screens, or maybe peace is asking for help from someone. So these are actionable things that I can do to cultivate more peace, which ultimately for me represents more joy. All right. So as always, we are going to practice together. We'll weave some of these tips into our exercises today. And these are exercises that come straight from Self-Care Society classes. As always, I'm going to give you time to pause, to give yourself a moment to really think about this, but feel free to stop the recording at any time if you want to ponder or write a little bit more. And you're also going to hear, as usual, inspiring examples from our live classes too. And you can join us for a full schedule of live and on-demand classes at selfcaresociety.co. So our first exercise is called, Isn't It Wonderful? So I want you to free write or ponder using the prompt, Isn't it wonderful? ... Okay, so you're going to start the beginning of every new thought with this prompt. So for example, isn't it wonderful that we get a fresh start every morning? Isn't it wonderful to witness so presently the joy and magic of childhood? Isn't it wonderful that seeds can be planted in soil and grow to nourish us? Isn't the sunrise and the sunshine's warmth a beautiful thing? Okay, so take a moment here to pause. What's wonderful? What can you acknowledge that's wonderful? Isn't it wonderful that? Go ahead. Annie says, isn't it wonderful that our bodies are designed to heal and nurture us? Dee says, isn't it wonderful I get to speak life and truth into my daughter's life? Isn't it wonderful I get to choose to believe in love? Isn't it wonderful that I get to travel to new places and meet new people? Caitlin says, isn't it wonderful to come together to visit family from all over, to be loved and love one another, to see blue skies, to light incense, to start the day, to spend time with my soulmate, to take time for myself? Sure is. So our next exercise is a gratitude exercise called Gratitude for Your Joys. And I want you to just express gratitude towards some of the things in your life that bring you joy. So my examples, thank you for all the random blurry photos and videos my daughter takes of herself on my phone that I find later in my camera reel. Thank you for the excitement of seeing new seedlings pop up through the soil. Thank you for the courage to try something new at any given time. Thank you for all the opportunities to learn and to expand. Okay, so thinking about your own joy, what can you feel grateful for? Where do you have gratitude for your joy? And how can you express that? Jeannie says, I'm grateful for the sunshine streaming in my window, a safe place to lay my head each night. Carrie says, thank you for technology, so it is easy to see the faces of my kids and their voices, even though they are across the pond. Caitlin says, thank you for my soul dog, Finny, my companion. Thank you for my curious mind, always learning. Our next exercise is one of intentionality, and it's called your ultimate joy list. So as I expressed in my tips, I want you to think about what your ultimate joy list might have on it. Imagine that this might be a list that you could go to when you want to weave in more moments of joy in your life. And I want you to write down as many things as you can think of. So my examples, I said, getting outside and feeling the sunshine, planting a seed, spending time with my daughter, calling my best friend, taking a walk, eating something delicious, clearing out some clutter, scrolling through my favorites album on my phone. These are all things that I know are kind of quick fixes for joy for me. So what is on your joy list as you think about little things, actions, things you could do, experience that would bring you joy? Awesome work. Jess says, put on an energetic song I love, go out into the sunshine, repot a plant, call Aaron, go for a walk, clear clutter in a small area, and buy myself flowers. Carrie says, watch the birds at the feeder, take a dance break, write a card, travel planning, watching travel videos. Krista says, music, prepped meals, accomplished focus time, baby snuggles and giggles, swimming, clean bedroom, and clean sheets. Oh yeah, good one. Really good one. So our next exercise is an affirmation exercise called reframing your situation. Okay, this is a really powerful tool. And as I said, these exercises are inspired from our opening quote from the Dalai Lama and the different things, the different components of joyfulness based in their reflection. So reframing your situation, this is important. It's time that we reframe our situation, and we can learn to do this more positively. So I want you to think about any of the limiting beliefs you might experience in life, or maybe just things that might come up today. And I want you to either write them down or think about them and then flip them into a positive affirmation belief that serves you better. So this is a challenging exercise, but I really want to encourage you to actually give it a shot. It's actually not as hard as it seems. So you're really just going to think about, okay, what's some of the negative dialogue that comes up for me? So for example, I might say, I haven't made much progress. I'm working on something, I haven't made much progress. Okay, well, it doesn't serve me to believe that. So I want to flip that around. And what do I want to tell myself instead? I am making progress on a variety of things and can trust that where my attention and action goes is where it is meant to. Another example, maybe I'm telling myself I'm not sharing enough valuable content on Instagram. And instead, I can tell myself I am sharing what is authentic in any moment for me. And it's easy to underestimate what just sharing small moments of my life might be gifting to others. Okay, so Take a chance and just do this for at least one thing that might come up today. Oh, you noticed you're going to maybe criticize your body, right? Or maybe you're going to stress over finances or something. How can you flip that around to be more positive for you? Create more joy in your life. All right, let's hear some examples from the Self-Care Society community. And I actually asked them not to even tell me the negative statement because I don't want to give it any extra energy. So I'm just going to hear the positive affirmation, the way that they flipped a negative belief into what they really want to believe. So Carrie says, I choose myself and what she needs today, and especially what future me will appreciate most. I keep promises to myself. Allie says, I'm building a foundation, and that takes time. Yes, it does. Beautiful, beautiful. So our next exercise is a manifestation exercise, and it's called a kind and generous future. So if you remember from our quote, being kind and generous is a big part of actually feeling joy. So I want you to think of a future moment of your life, and I want you to clarify or create a day in which you were just incredibly kind and generous. What did you do that day, and how did it go? Okay, so my example, I said, what an amazing day today was. I had a session with the teen girls in my mentorship nonprofit and feel so fulfilled at the joy they are having following their dreams. With my family, I was really attentive and loving, super present as I asked them about how their hearts were and shared the things I love about them. I let a few people go ahead of me in the grocery line and gave some cash to a person on the street asking. We dropped off many bags of beautiful belongings to be donated. You know, it's super interesting to read that because I can actually witness in my body as I share that, the joy that that brings, right? The joy that being kind, the joy that being generous with others in our life brings. And so what a powerful way, and add that to the list of tips of like, you want to feel joy, get out there and do something for someone else. What an amazing exercise to get out of our own heads and get out of our bodies and be of support to someone who needs it. All right, so we're going to hear, I'm going to read this sort of transcript here of Jess's share because this is really powerful as well. So Jess says, I volunteered today at the really free market. It was awesome. I gave tips on organizing your home and clearing clutter. I also brought a bag of clothes and other items. Ryan baked bread and a special butter. It felt so good to be in community. Beautiful, beautiful, Jess. Thank you. So I am going to encourage you to really carry this joy with you throughout your day today. Can you pick at least one item from your joy list to do right now? Can you pause and listen in before you watch the next YouTube video or stream the next podcast episode or navigate to social media? Can you give yourself a moment right now to just simply listen in, to identify how you feel and to clarify at least one, maybe two ways that you can bring joy into your life today? Even better, it's going to be contagious to others. So have fun, friends. Get out there. Thank you for joining me for your morning mindset practice today. I really hope that you are feeling more joyful, and I'd love to have you join us at selfcaresociety.co for a live or on-demand class so you can stay consistent with your self-care, connect with other like-minded people, and continue filling your cup so you can overflow onto the world. You're also going to find that you feel a lot more joy when you show up in this community as well. We need you. We need what you have to offer. We need your joy. We'll see you next time.